Well, well, well. I never thought I'd hear it, but I have to be honest. Stephen A. Smith gave one of the most honest, objective takes on the Dallas Cowboys getting whooped by the New Orleans Saints. I got to react to it. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let's talk facts. Stephen A. Smith is someone, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, he truly gets under your skin. And he gets under my skin because I don't believe that Stephen A. Smith actually hates the Cowboys. And he's actually said he doesn't hate the Cowboys. He said he hates the fans. And I admit that the fan base for the Dallas Cowboys is very different than most teams because the Cowboys have fans who hate them and fans who love them. You rarely see anybody in between. My dad used to always say, the Cowboys are different. You either love them or you hate them. But with Stephen A. Smith, I don't think there's no hate for the Cowboys. I think he likes the Cowboys. I think he loves Jerry Jones. But I also think Stephen A. Smith understands the field that he's in. He's in the sports entertainment field. And so he says a lot of things on TV so they can be entertaining. I don't even know if he believes half the stuff that he says. But on his show, I noticed, the Stephen A. Smith show. I've watched some of the Stephen A. Smith shows. I've watched some of those. I've watched some of the little sections they pull out. And I have to admit, Stephen A. Smith on his show is a lot more, I won't even say tolerable. He's actually likable when you watch him on his show because it seems that he can address some things on his show in a much more honest and positive light than he does on ESPN, because I think that he's kind of created this persona on ESPN. And so that persona is what people expect when they come to watch him on Undisputed and some of the other shows. So he gives it to him. But on Stephen A. Smith, the Stephen A. Smith show on YouTube, subscribe to it. I think it's a good show for the most part. Stephen A. Smith has some very interesting takes on the show. And in this particular show, he has one of the best and most objective takes I've ever heard him as it pertains to the Dallas Cowboys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the video and I'm going to react to certain parts in the video. Now, for those of you who say, why all the talking? Because it's called 1, Let's Talk Cowboys. 2, for fair use, there has to be commentary on the video or else it's a copyright strike rather than a copyright saying under fair use, you can use it and we know you're using it, but as long as you are reacting to it rather than just letting it play. So I'm going to react to it anyway because I got a lot of things to say about it. But nevertheless, let's hear Stephen A. Smith give this objective take. And for those of you who just want to hear the interview, I'll put timestamps and I'll put the link to it in the description. So let's hear Stephen A. Smith drop bombs.
Now, I understand if nobody in Dallas wants to buy my book, that would make sense. I understand if a Cowboy fan don't want to buy my book, that would make sense. Because watching me yesterday just laugh at you, I mean, listen, the Dallas Cowboys are the gift that keeps on giving. So the New Orleans Saints rolls into town, and I understand they had a bye week in week 1. I mean, they technically played the game, but the Carolina Panthers are a bye week. And we all know that, and I'll get into why in just a minute about the Carolina Panthers. But they blew out the Carolina Panthers 47-10 in week 1, and then they showed up. Yesterday. I'm talking about the New Orleans Saints in Dallas, Texas, Arlington to be exact. Jerry World, AT&T Stadium, that $1 billion playpen, whatever words you want to use to describe it. And they ran roughshod over the Dallas Cowboys 44-19. Do you know that the New Orleans Saints scored a touchdown on their first 6 drives of the game? Do you know that one was for 80, Another was for 70. And another for 70. And another for 70. And then one was for 20. And then another one was 69 yards. Did you know that? Did you know? Did you know that Alvin Kamara had 4 touchdowns yesterday by his damn self? Did you know that they had Derek Carr out there looking like Joe Montana? Did you know that the Dallas Cowboys have basically revealed that they can't stop the damn run?
I want you to look at this, and Stephen A. Smith is hitting on some things here. Because when you have a running game, I don't think in any universe I don't think there's any universe that Derek Carr is better than Dak Prescott. None. But when you look at what they did, I want you to look at this. Derek Carr has 16 attempts. 16 attempts. But he threw for 243 yards. One of them was a crazy bomb to Rashid Shaheed, I think his name is. And I knew before the game that he was a speedster. And man, he burnt them big time. But when you look at the other ones, Alvin Kamara was a monster. Kamara was a monster. They couldn't stop him. 4 touchdowns by himself. I mean, he took a screenplay. What was it? 70 yards, somewhere in there? I mean, the Cowboys' defense is terrible, or at least they were on Sunday. And they had Derek Carr. You telling me this man threw for 243 yards and he only completed 11 passes? Tells you something. He has a running game. He has a running game. And if you look at the game in its context, he goes bombs away, but it's not the bombs away ones that are just getting you. He's getting you with Alvin Kamara out of the backfield. Cowboys couldn't stop it. And so Stephen A. Smith is about to hit on it. The word is out on the Cowboys, just like they were last year. Different defensive coordinator, same old story. Can't stop the run. And if you can't stop the run, you better make sure that every time that offense scores a touchdown, you got to score a touchdown. I'm sorry, that's tremendous pressure. Basically, the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday were about to have a college football game where the only way they stay in the game is that they're going to match them touchdown for touchdown, and it'd be 35-35 in the first half. But I got news for us. CeeDee Lamb at this point, it's CeeDee Lamb or bust. And even the touchdown that Dak Prescott threw CeeDee Lamb, did you notice he was double covered? A lot of teams are going to do that until the Cowboys get some other weapons or some other people. They step up. It's going to be just like the Saints game, just like the Saints.
This is what you saw in their opener. Now, Dak Prescott went 27 for 39, throwing for nearly 300 yards and 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. And I'm not going to even hold the interceptions against him because they were bleeding. He was trying to stop the hemorrhaging, trying to make something happen. That happens. But in the end,
I just want everyone to let that sink in. Stephen A. Smith admitted it was not Dak Prescott's fault. We got Dallas Cowboy fans that won't even admit it wasn't Dak Prescott's fault. Dak Prescott actually did nothing wrong on Sunday. Dak Prescott is playing with a broken offensive line. No running game as of yet. And right now, in 2 games, we got a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde defense. Cleveland Browns, they stopped him. But I think that may be because Nick Chubb didn't play. But when they play this week against the Saints, Alvin Kamara, he does it to him. They couldn't stop him. I was absolutely shocked that Mike Zimmer's defense could not stop the Saints. And their offensive coordinator, I forget his name, but he's from the Kyle Shanahan play calling tree. He's from that tree. And so Zimmer normally does well against Kyle Shanahan's offenses. And that's why they really bought him in, because they couldn't stop those guys from the Kyle Shanahan tree last year with Dan Quinn. But I'm starting to realize something. Dan Quinn, he didn't have the players. I think he would have ate with these players that the Cowboys have right now. I think he could have worked with them. I mean, they actually have a linebacking core. I do think they made a mistake by not playing Overshown, and they need to shore that up. I think they're trying to bring him along slowly because of the injury, but they need to play Overshown. They have got to find a way to stop the run, and I think he's a part of the key. He closes really fast. He goes east to west very fast. You got to have him on the field. But let's continue to hear Stephen A. Smith.
He wasn't the reason the Cowboys lost yesterday. Their defense was non-existent. I never heard of Alice, Texas. I never knew one existed. But that's what we gonna call it now from now on. We gonna call them the Alice Cowboys, because you take the D out of Dallas. Don't even call them that. There is no defense right now. They got blitzed. Micah Parsons had 3 pressures, and you know that's my brother. I got love for him. But they couldn't do anything yesterday. And what is revealed is that anybody that's got a running game can beat the Dallas Cowboys, who, by the way, have the...
That's it. That's it. Anybody that has a running game, they can beat Dallas. And if you pay attention, a lot of teams when he got a running game. And if the Cowboys, I don't care how good they are, because I know they're going to start ramping up. What we're watching right now is Dallas Cowboys preseason. Same thing happened last year. The Cowboys sputtered out of the gate. Why? Because Dak Prescott doesn't play in the preseason. The stars don't play in the preseason. They got a brand new offensive line. They haven't played together. This is only their second game together. And anyone who knows anything about offensive lines, they have to gel together. They're not there yet. We're watching even the defense. A lot of them didn't play together. They didn't play together in training camp. Didn't definitely play together in the preseason. We're watching preseason football by a lot of teams. And we're going to see if the Saints are actually taking advantage of that. But we got to sit for right now. The Saints are just, man, they look a lot better than everybody thought they were going to look. But I'm not concerned about them as of yet. But the Cowboys, they got to get it together, because their first 6 games, they're some tough games, and you don't want to come out of those being 2-4. You at least need to be 3-3, 4-2, because if you're going to be at the number 1 or the 2 seed, you're at least going to need 11 to 12 victories. With the way everything's going right now, everybody might have 6, 7 losses. So you want to start shoring up your defense, and you want to start ramping up your offense. But the word is out on the Cowboys. The word is out.
Baltimore Ravens next week, who are 0-2. Good luck with that one. You got Derrick Henry coming to town. And you got the Baltimore Ravens at 0-2. We know we don't expect that to last. And so it's one of those situations where Dallas got some problems. Ain't no way around it. And once again, you switch from Quinn, who took the head coaching job in the nation's capital with the Washington Commanders. You brought in former Minnesota Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer as your defensive coordinator. Nobody expected you to look like that, especially the way you played against Cleveland the week before. But that's what Dallas does. And so, in the end, you don't have the personnel. You got speed. You got athletes. What you don't have, as my man Dan Orlovsky in my day job said, you don't have a spleen, you don't have a spine. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can run right down the middle on the Dallas Cowboys. They ain't what they used to be. As a matter of fact, they look worse based off of yesterday than they did all of last season. I mean, I know they got their ass kicked by San Francisco last season. during the regular season. I didn't expect them to get their ass kicked the way that they did yesterday by the New Orleans Saints. But that's what happened. Somewhere along the way, we're going to have to talk about New Orleans at some point because we can't ignore the...
And that's it. Stephen A. Smith, I mean, you can go watch the rest of the video at your leisure. He talks about a few other things, but what he said about the Dallas Cowboys is spot on. It is spot on. And man, let me tell you something. There are some storylines in this game. And I really believe that Dak Prescott is going... I think we're about to see a game where Dak Prescott is going to battle his butt off. And the reason why he's going to battle is he's going against a man who I believe Lamar Jackson didn't do it. But the voters, I believe, out of fear, because people talk so bad about Dak Prescott the year before. And Dak Prescott had an MVP season last year. They let Lamar Jackson with less stats beat Dak Prescott for the MVP. Dak's going to be playing. I truly believe Dak is going to be playing. But there's another storyline. Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry lives out here in Dallas. I truly believe Derrick Henry wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. And I think he feels a little bit like he got shunned by the Cowboys. He coming to play. Derrick Henry is coming to play. Zimmer better really get it together this week because Derrick Henry is coming to play. Not to mention, we already know running quarterbacks give the Dallas Cowboys a fit. You give the Dallas Cowboys a running quarterback and a big running back like Derrick Henry who can literally slaughter you up the middle. Cowboys better bring their lunch. They better bring their lunch. Because I'm telling you, if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I'm running the ball 40 times. I'm running the ball 40 times. Derek Carr only has 16 attempts. If I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I'm not giving Lamar Jackson more than 20 attempts. Everything else, it's on the ground. The Cowboys going to put up a shut up. If you're not going to stop the run, then we're not going to stop running. That's me if I'm the opposing offense. So, well, let's see what the Cowboys are made of. It's game 3. It's time to ramp it up. Jerry Jones, I listened to him in an interview today. He said that what we saw on Sunday was them making changes, but the team not executing. Well, they better execute on Sunday or you're going to be 1-2. And the Baltimore Ravens, I thought we were going there, but thankfully they're coming to Dallas. But don't know how that's going to turn out yet. I'll give my analysis on that later on in the week. But they're coming to play. They don't want to go down 0-3. Because only 14 teams have made the playoffs starting 0-2. Only 6 teams since 1979 have made the playoffs starting 0-3. You better believe the Ravens are coming to play. But I'm hoping that the Cowboys are not only playing, I'm hoping that they have something to prove to everyone and say, the Saints caught us off guard. It was a fluke. So, that's going to do it for me. That's going to be my time. But I had to react to the Stephen A. Smith take because I thought it was so great. I applaud Stephen A. Smith. Very objective take on the Dallas Cowboys. Wish you would do more of that on ESPN. I believe if you did more of that on ESPN, I think more people would be watching. But I understand, Stephen A. You got to do your entertaining because that's what people expect. You, Shannon, and Molly, and all y'all with all your entertaining and things of that nature. I know you got to do it. But I'm just saying. More of this on First Take. I might start watching again. I think other people might start watching again too. But again, if you like this video, you like this reaction, please subscribe, like, share, hit that notification bell so that you'll know the next time I drop a video. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.